It began as a vibration, a hum that the city's engineers couldn't explain. Glass is supposed to be solid, but the apex tower was becoming something fluid. The geometry of the skyline was the first thing to fail.
Inorganic matter was rewriting its own DNA.
The city held its breath. Then, the building took its own. The foundation was no longer stone. It was muscle. The internal temperature reached fever pitch. The building was coming alive.
Visibility was lost. The tower was shielding itself in a new skin. Every square inch was becoming a sensory organ.
A heartbeat that could be felt in the subway tunnels 5 miles away. The veins were open. The tower was ready to move its contents.
The military arrived. But how do you shoot something that is breathing?
The building was perspiring. It was under stress.
The landscape was being integrated. The city was being consumed. An exhalation that changed the local weather pattern in minutes.
Furniture became fossils. The tools of work were no longer needed. The skeletal structure was testing its new limits. As night fell, the internal map of the beast became clear.
Everything you could touch was part of the collective life.
It was reactive. It could feel us.
We were breathing the same air now. Its breath was our breath. It was hungry for power, siphoning the city's lifeblood. A network of hunger stretching beneath our feet. At the center of it all, the engine of the impossible. Walking through the halls was like walking through a throat. Architecture turned into anatomy.
The light showed us the truth. It was a biological masterpiece. It was producing its own nutrients.
One living titan in a graveyard of concrete. Biology was accelerating. The building was a catalyst. The building was moving its own cells. Or perhaps its guests.
It was feeding on the atmosphere itself.
Thirst. An eternal thirst. It isn't just standing there. It's preparing to move.
The anchors were no longer steel. They were ligaments. The windows were eyes, looking back at us. Thinking, calculating. It was a skyscraper with a mind.
The city went dark, so the giant could shine.
The transformation was contagious. The air carried the building's intent.
Spores. 1 trillion biological blueprints falling on the streets. The lobby was now a womb.
Every beam was a bloodline.
Curiosity. The giant was learning about its surroundings. Balance. It was perfecting its new form.
Time was warping in the building's gravitational field.
A hunger that could not be satisfied. Internal defense systems were now biological. The transport was effortless. A swallow.
A monument to a new era of existence. The waste products of a living city. Total awareness. It saw everything. Adaptation. It was learning to survive.
Invincible architecture.
The memory of the building. Every person who ever walked its halls was now data.
It kept everything.
It generated enough heat to warm the entire city.
The city's transit was now its own circulation.
It wasn't alone. The infection was spreading.
The chorus of the living city. The age of metal was over.
A world of light and bone.
The city's plumbing was now its blood.
The nectar of the new world.
A giant acknowledging its creators. It was inviting us back in.
The reunion.
Recognition.
The forest of glass was now a forest of life. Clean energy. Pure life.
The planet was joining the pulse.
The city was a lung. The beauty of the impossible.
The peak of maturation.
The signal reached the stars.
The blueprint of Earth, sent to the void.
Connection. A peaceful sleep in the belly of the god.
The transition was complete.
The reclamation.
The old world was a memory.
The song of the stone.
Comfort in the Titan.
The sun sets on the age of architecture.
The city was finally asleep.
living planet. A breathing world.
It's coming for your city next. The moon is waking up.
The transition has just begun.